Welcome, everybody, to Starter Sports Bar and Grill here in Williamson, West Virginia. Dirt Day special on the Big D's Traveling Roadshow. Billy Davis, I'm Darryl McCoy. We got producer KJ. Stephen Jesse's in the house. He'll be with us a little later. Big crowd, big energy. That's what Dirt Days is about, Billy.
Listen, I love his Dirt Days, and I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a long time since I've seen Williamson this packed out. I've been down on the other end, and I'm telling you, Darryl probably had to call me 4 times and say, "Hey, show's getting ready to go. Show's getting ready to go." Because hey, they got dirt dragons going on. They got concerts going on. There's food trucks. There's people selling Hatfield McCoy gear here. Trails, Hillbilly Trails is here. United Motorsports has their big monster 18-wheeler down there, full of dirt bikes and everything.
Full of ATVs outside.
Yeah, and they're cutting crazy deals. I mean, literally crazy deals. I'm just pumped, man. I've been waiting all week for this.
Listen, I was sitting there. I've been thrown out of every bar in this town, man. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, including this one, I was a part of one of the biggest brawls ever in this bar. I may have got banned here for about a year and not allowed back here. That was before the renovation, renovations. But, I was sitting there laying in bed last night. I was like, I got banned from every year. And not only, it was one of the biggest brawls this town ever seen. It shut the town down. And they're trusting me to host a show here during Dirt Days, the biggest event in Williamson. What the hell's going on here, Billy Davis?
Listen, they've cut all the red tape, and they've let everybody in here. KJ was on paper for a while, not even allowed in town of Williamson. Hey, he's been here. I think he's took a picture with a few people here. But, hey, this is the place to be this weekend.
That's a good thing we had Jeff Simpkins here to help him out.
Good thing. Our buddy Jeff Simpkins is here. I think we might have some bail money over there. Hey, this is no hold bars. We are in Starters. We're going to just turn it loose tonight. And, hey, like I said, there's a ton of people in Williamson. If you're haven't been to Dirt Days and you've always been thinking, I'm not really sure what that's about, listen, it is like no other Dirt Days they've had. I've been to every one they've had. This year, they have really, really done it.
Well, Dirt Days, it's the only event in America where the T-shirt drop creates more energy than the event does.
Yeah.
And, that tells you how much effort, man, these people have put in there. I know I've worked with them relentlessly. You've been in town more than I have. Making sure this event goes off, and it's been by far the most promoted. Listen, if you didn't hear about Dirt Days this year, then you're hidden under a rock.
I have no clue where you've been. Listen, I was at 304 Motorsports Park. They got that big monster race the first weekend. I was hearing about Dirt Days. I think people are splitting their time between today coming here and going there tomorrow and vice versa. I was in Logan. People was talking about Dirt Days. We was in Pike County yesterday. People was talking about Dirt Days. What are they going to have? Are they really going to do it up this year? They have really done it up this year. There are tons of dirt bikes and four-wheelers right here at the dirt track racing. Man, I've just seen so many people that is normally not in Williamson. Yep. You don't see that big of a crowd for stuff in Williamson. King Cole Festival, but now that you're attracting all the trail riders in here, there's side-by-sides up and down both sides of this street down through here. They're from everywhere. I talk to people from North Carolina, Virginia, talk to somebody from even Ohio. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, we seen you guys post it for here. We just ride on down.
Yeah.
This is awesome. You need to get up here and support this. Come to Starters tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to be down there covering the dirt drags and everything. We'll see if we can even get KJ to go through the mud pit, maybe. Hey, you need to get down here and support this and have a great time.
Yeah, hey, listen, I need to give my mother-in-law a call. She's probably wallowing around in that mud pit somewhere down there.
He's good as dead when we leave here. But, hey, listen, before we get carried away, because let me tell you, I am so pumped about this that I'll forget something. But there's a bunch of people that make this happen for us, okay? And a bunch of people that grabbed us by the hand literally and said, you have to come and be a part of this. Yeah. And that's what I really like. They didn't say, come and cover this. They said, come and be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Of course, Starters, which if you've been to Starters anytime during the week at lunchtime, there's a good chance you've seen me and Jeff Simpkins over there. United Motorsports. Goodness gracious, they brought everything down there from new dirt bikes. They got a new brand down there called a SSR is what it's called. It's a brand. a new brand. You
I
can
used to
get
listen to their music, Proud Mary. And
no,
Down on the Corner.
not that kind of a band. A brand.
So not
No.
CCR.
SSR.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a brand of dirt bike like Honda and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm allowed to say that or not. But hey, I can get a 125 dirt bike for my grandson for under $900, brand spanking new.
Wow.
Ready to run this dirt track or the hill climb over at Del Barton. Ready to go. And it is one sharp bike.
I'm gonna call my wife, tell her to hold my kids' ears.
Yeah. If you got some kids, they might not want to be watching this right now. Hey, Diane Hannah, she sponsors this. Listen, the Hannahs, they always go all out. Anything got to do with trails, tourism, Mingo County, Pike County, they're big people in that. Great people. Nathan Brown running for county commissioner, people. You can go ahead and vote. I'm pretty sure in West Virginia you can go ahead and early vote right now. Vote for our buddy Nathan. Kessler's Boutiques, next street over. She is still swamped right over right now trying to get people's prom and everything. Get them, everybody lined down on it. Williamson Flooring, just the next street over. Great people. It don't matter whether you need hardwood floor, carpeting, whatever. And they'll even install it, Darryl.
Yeah.
They'll
Best
even
prices
install it.
on lumber and everything.
Yeah. D&D Sports, Justin Markham right up the street right here. Hey, do I need to say any more? Justin Markham's in every sport that's coming and going. Broken Amigas. Did I say that right?
Yep, the Broken Amigas.
Broken Amigas, right down the street right here.
Old Borderline building.
Old Borderline building. Yeah. Hey, great Mexican food.
Another
great
bar
Mexican
I've been
food.
thrown out of.
I'd say you've been banned out there multiple times. I would say you. Yeah, I think I have been too. City Auto Care. Hey, Eric Evans and them. I mean, man, they've been great. And hey, Eric Evans called me a while ago, and the reason he called me is I said, hey, I went by trail riders yesterday that was coming in from North Carolina, and they were broke down beside the road. Yeah. Eric sent one of his mechanics down there and took a trailer tire down to them and had them back on the road and going and everything.
I talked to them a while ago out here.
And
they're from New York. Yeah,
was that what from?
Yep.
New York. Oh, yeah, New York. But hey, and he sent a mechanic down to help him. And I thought that was awesome, man. I didn't know that he had all those trailer tires and stuff down there in stock for your side-by-side trailers and all that stuff. But he actually does, and I thought that was great. He's right down here on the corner, right behind 7-Eleven. Hey, you're not going to beat a tire. I mean, he's right here. Ammo Alley, right up the road here in Belfry. He is starting to be a huge supporter in this area, Darryl. And he was already starting to really pick up with Belfry Sports. He was sponsoring a lot of them. Raffled off a few guns and stuff to help some of their programs up there. And now he's moving across the river, helping people over in Mingo County. He loves youth sports. Real great guy.
That wraps up as we'll sit here. Listen, guys, get down here, be a part of this with us. I mean, you talking about, like I mentioned, this place is packed out. Starters has got ribs tonight. They got coleslaw, and they got these commemorative glasses.
I like it.
And I'm pretty sure if you get one, it's some deal with like
$10. $10, you get a beer and you get a glass.
Yeah.
You get look at that. Listen, that ain't thin glass. That ain't cheap, people. That's a really nice commemorative glass. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sneaking out of your fist tonight right there. That's going in my collection right there. Hey, we got all kinds of great stuff. We got some, like I said, they got barbecue ribs tonight. Cowboy baked beans. I know a lot of people love it. Coleslaw and salad. You get a full rack of ribs for $24.95, Darryl. That's just an awesome price. Most places it's at for a half rack of ribs.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable prices, great deals. We got a great lineup. Great guests coming on tonight. Stephen Jessie will be with us during the second half of the show. He'll be talking. We'll be bringing some riders on, talking all that. But, me and Billy still got a ton to go over with. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back here live from Starters Sports Bar and Grill in Williamson, West Virginia. Our producer skipped away from us, so we'll go to commercial here in a second, Billy. Back here at Starter Sports Bar and Grill, Dirt Day special on the Big D's Traveling Road Show. I got my partner here, Billy, and then over here we got producer KJ Kevin Jones, and then later tonight we're going to have Steve and Jessie. We're going to have Kathy Witt. We're going to have some riders on. I mean, we're going to be giving you the lowdown on what's going on here at Dirt Day, so you don't want to tune away. Get down here. Great deals. Listen, commemorative mugs. Right now they got ribs, coleslaw, green beans. Got a starter special for Dirt Days. Billy, it's a big crowd, big energy in here right now.
Hey, and it's growing. Just seen about 7 side-by-sides pull in over here. Hey, listen to me. If you come in tonight, get you one of these. 15% off your meal. Dirt Day special.
Oh, wow.
Yes, sir. I'm holding on for that for later on.
We didn't get that, Kevin Jones.
Yeah. I told him I'd take your guys' discount. Listen, it's absolutely going. It's hard to explain how everything is going down here in Williamson because a lot of people says, "Well, Dirt Days, how's that going to work exactly?" There's no room to do it in Williamson, down in town Williamson. They're not in front of the courthouse drag racing. They've got a dirt track down on the other end, and then from the dirt track this way is vendors.
Yeah.
Literally everything you think of. I don't care where your boy.
Home plate delivery.
Yeah.
Henry Banks and them.
Yeah, home plate. Hey, I stopped and talked to them. They're really nice people.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything you can think of. Don't matter where you're man, woman, kid, whatever it is. They've got stuff down here that you're interested. Some new toy, gooey looking stuff that some kids they're down there buying them left and right. But listen, they got tires for sale down there. If you need some for your side-by-side, Smokey's got a side-by-side if you want to buy it. You know what I mean? Hey, they got that new CF Moto that they redone.
Gear, safety equipment. They got a little bit of everything down
You come into town like we are,
I
forgot my helmet. Can't ride the Hatfield McCoy trails. Wrong. Smokey's got a box of them down there. Gloves. Hey, anything you need, they've got them down at United. But every other vendor down there, this is what I really like. Every other vendor down through there seems like they have something different. Everybody just ain't going to pull up and go, "We got hot dogs." Guy next to me got hot dogs. Guy on their side. No. There's a lot of stuff here to do, man. And I seen the axe throwing thing down there a while ago.
They got axe throwing.
I figured maybe later on we could get JJ to come, and me and you will try to throw it, and maybe they'll give it to us half off if he goes up there and pulls them out for us while we're doing it.
We can put an apple on his head and see if we can hit.
Now you know that didn't work out at 304 Motorsports Park, and he ain't gonna fall for that again.
No.
There ain't no way. I don't care if KJ doesn't give him $20. It's not going to happen. But listen, people, you need to get to downtown Williamson. We're at Starters. Come hang out for us. Get some great food. Let's throw some laughs around. The weather is perfect. You could not ask for better weather than this.
No, beautiful weather. This weekend is set up to be the best Dirt Days yet. They got concerts all throughout tomorrow. They got fireworks. So get down here to Dirt Days. Listen, 44 years old now. It hits me a little different. I have to stretch when I get out of the car now.
Stretch and grab it, Walker.
Yeah. Listen, I do. I have to stretch. Everybody else is getting ready for Dirt Days. I'm getting ready for ibuprofen and bingo.
Yeah. I just forgot about that. They actually do have a big monster fireworks show too, and 9 o'clock. Is that tonight? Tomorrow night? After everything's over, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock.
Everybody in here come for Dirt Days.
Yeah.
I come for the food.
Yeah.
Let's not hide it.
Come for Dirt Days, stay for the food, or vice versa. Either way you want to do it. And you know what? Dirt Days drag racing. You know what it costs you to watch it?
Nothing.
Boom.
Yep.
Know what it costs you to watch fireworks? Boom. Zero. Zilch.
Looking for a family for the concert.
Looking for a family clean something to do this weekend? We just got you locked up right here.
Yeah, that ain't all that's going on. This weekend you got the Kentucky Derby, you got the Oaks. The Oaks is on TV. You got the NBA playoffs in here. Golf's on. Starters, they will fill your need for anything you're looking for. And the thing I like is half the crowd in here, half of them's from around here, and half of them's from out of town.
Yeah.
So and you can spot the out of towners pretty well. Their voice and accents are a little bit different than us here.
Just tad bit. They don't got that hickory we got. No. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can come in here and watch anything. And that's one thing about Starters, because like I said, I'm here pretty often. Want to watch something else? Well, they'll flip it over. G's behind the counter, got the remote over there. They'll flip it on something else. I think our buddy Ashley Dalton, I think he said he was up about 1,400 a while ago. Betting, I'm hoping we're in 50-50 on that. I put it on his post. I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying? KJ said he was good for it. I mean, man, there's just so much going on. So much. You can just feel a buzz when you come into Winston today. You know what I mean?
The thing I like is, here at Starters, they done renovations back a few years ago, and it's completely overhauled from what it used to look like. They've more catered it toward trail riders, know, and that's the thing that's interesting, I mean, they put a lot more rooms. They got a bar. They can seat, 3 times the people they could before. They got gaming room in the back, for people wanting to play gaming. I mean, big screens everywhere. So anything you need for a good family fun night out, or you're looking for a nightlife, Starters has got you covered right here.
Yeah, I love it. And like you said, you talk about that bar, the new one they put down the middle of there. That is nice, man. Yeah. I just seen a bunch of trail riders get up from a table and move over to it just because, I mean, they just want to look at it. That's really, really nice. Starters looks nothing like it did when he used to come here back in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? When him and KJ used to roam the streets in the 70s and 80s, it don't look nothing totally like it. You got Winston High School helmets and Make One High helmets and stuff on the side. We got guitars signed by people behind us, people. I mean,
well, speaking of the Winston High School, I love that they got the gear, the commemorative gear from all the local schools. But the thing that I like, and I don't know if they still got it, but they did have a commemorative jersey and helmet of Wes Robinson in here.
Oh,
one of the best fellers you'll ever meet that tragically got hurt in a football accident. And, I mean, it's really neat to see them pay homage to the people that come before them here in town. I love that. Tonight's show is in memory of Chris Jessie. Guys, hearts are broken. Chris is one of the finest fellers you ever meet. And, before the show, you could see our commemorative picture up graphic. But, Chris was buried today. So, heavy hearts for them. Prayers going out for the family. But, it's just Starters. They've always been a part of the community and everything that Williamson has got going on.
Yeah, I mean, you can go anywhere in Mingo County and see a Starters banner hanging from their fence. Don't matter where it's baseball, in a gym, basketball. Everywhere we go, we see Starters. You see it over at Pike County. I mean, Starters is Williamson. You can go anywhere that anybody has been in Williamson. I don't care if you go away from here or whatever, Huntington, whatever, and you bring up Williamson and you talk about food and they go, yeah, Starters. We stopped in Starters. Yeah. I mean, it's just.
It is. It's a hub. It's a hub.
It really
for the community here in Williamson, and when you take and look, right now this is a busy time of the season, and the thing I like is, the side-by-side ATV, the tourism is really picking up, not just in Mingo County, but it's Logan County, Pike County, and all surrounding counties. Last weekend we had the hill climb over Del Barton.
Yeah, awesome.
Man, how fun was that?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Brought us over there. We streamed it completely live. Over 70,000 people now has watched it. And then you got drag racing to feel the fix of that coming up. And the thing I like, we'll save that for Steven and let him explain the drag racing a little bit. But, everybody, back when we was younger, you didn't have the options. You got side-by-sides was not a thing back then. The closest thing you had to it was something called an Odyssey. And nowadays, they don't make them anymore. But you had four-wheelers and dirt bikes.
Four-wheelers and dirt bikes.
Side-by-sides, they're more than some people's house. And the thing I like,
oh, my goodness.
From being souped up to stock racing, you got people coming down here. At least you can borrow Grandpa's four-wheeler in the back garage and come down and have a chance to take home all that code hard cash.
Hey, that reminds me of something, Darryl. You remember the guy last year at Trail Fest that had the big jacked up side-by-side from North Carolina?
Yep.
He's here.
Is he?
He's here. He's down here. I seen him just a while ago in the big orange. I don't know. He's taller than my truck is. Yeah. We joked around with him about giving him $40,000 for it last time, and he laughed at us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got tires on it bigger than the coal truck tires. Yeah. He's here. I seen him down here a while ago, and if you've not seen this machine, I have no idea whatsoever it would cost to build this. It is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. He's going to run it through the mud pit tomorrow.
Yeah, well, people's come from states away, for this thing, and that's the interesting thing. I thought that we actually had some people from Indiana. Miss Basketball in Indiana was here earlier. She come on one of our shows that we had at Trailhead last year, and when she come tonight, she said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see y'all." and they're supposed to come down and maybe be on the show again tonight with us. But she was Miss Indiana basketball. I've met people from New York. I met Canadians a while ago. I met people from Wisconsin. So you got a little bit. It's a melting pot here in West Virginia, Mingo County this week.
Yeah, and I believe I've seen somewhere Miss West Virginia is supposed to be down here tomorrow.
Yeah.
I mean, hello. You know what I mean?
Listen,
Miss West Virginia be here.
My wife is worried to death right now. When she heard that, she I don't know if I want you to go down there.
I'm going to bring one of them halogen bars from the fire department, try to pry that woman off of you tomorrow. I just know that's going to be my problem all day long tomorrow. But they're bringing her down here. I mean, they got concerts tonight. I think they just kicked off, I'm pretty sure. They got 3 different bands. Like I said, they got fireworks. They got and that's another thing. The concerts cost you nothing.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something on the weekend and you're like, man, gas is $5 a gallon, diesel's $7 a gallon, I got to find something. You got free concerts, free dirt drags.
Yep.
You can watch, free fireworks. You got the whole day you normally pay $200 to go watch right here for free.
You can get the hottest ticket item on the market right now, and that's a Dirt Day shirt right down here on Back Street.
Don't start nothing on that, Darryl. Don't go down that road.
So get down here, buy your shirt, and listen, guys, it's going to be a great time. Billy, before we bring Stephen on real quick, give us the sponsors as we go out of this break.
Well, of course, this beautiful establishment we're in, Starters, my buddies and pals right here, United Motorsports. Go down there and see Justin, Smokey's down there, Smokey's daughter's down there. I mean, they've got tons of people, but when I went by there, they were packed out. Don't worry, they'll get to you. Diane Hanna, of course. Nathan Brown, go vote for him. Early voting has already started. Kessler's Boutique, Wimpson Flooring, J&J Sports, A.J. Ryan, who was running around here, I thought, a while ago. Broken Amigas, right?
Yep, Broken Amigas.
City Auto Care and Ammo Alley. And I forgot Precision also. Sorry about that, my buddy.
Precision Heating and Cooling.
Precision Heating and Cooling. Listen, I use them myself.
Yep.
So give them a call if you need your air conditioner's broke right now.
So, guys, that's going to take us to commercial break. Dirt Day special live from Starter Sports Bar and Grill in Williamson, West Virginia. When we return, we will have Stephen Jessie himself, the man over the drag racing. We're going to talk to him a little bit about how things are set up. And, I think he may want to bring some riders on. And then we'll have Billy back on here. After we get Stephen off, we'll have Billy come back on. And then we will have Kathy Witt. And maybe a slew more. But, guys, make sure you got questions. Get them down in the comment section. You can send them to Billy, and we'll try to make sure we answer them. And, Billy, we may give some code hard cash away before we get out here.
It's all about the money, baby.
There you go, guys. We'll be right back. You're watching the D&D Sports Network. Big D. And we're back here at Starter Sports Bar and Grill, the Big D's Traveling Road Show here. Dirt Day Spectacular. We got Stephen Jessie to my right. I'm Darryl McCoy. And as we mentioned earlier, tonight's episode is dedicated to the memory of Chris Jessie. So, Stephen, first of all, prayers going out to you and your family.
Thank you.
You know, lost a good one, a great one. And,
The best.
You know, but, you know, I mean, somehow, you know, you have to try to, you know, pump up and do what, you know, you've been kind of the cog that got Dirt Days going. I mean, you're the one that's pushing the envelope, making sure that things get going. You know, this Dirt Days right here, I know, you know, you talked to me about a year ago and told me that you really wanted this one to be the best one yet, and I can tell that y'all went overboard putting in the work for this Dirt Days, and it seems like to me it's by far the most promoted one, and I think, you know, so far it's been the biggest and best one that we've seen so far.
Yeah, man. We put a lot of time and effort in this deal, and you know, all the pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. You know, tonight, even already, we've got a massive crowd down there, a massive amount of racers, and it's just Friday night. It's just test and tune night. Tomorrow it's going to get wild.
Yeah, that's it. Y'all already got it set up down there, and you know, it is way beyond what I ever thought it could be. You know, when you look down there, I mean, y'all got the tires set up on the side, the safety rails, the guard rails. Looks like you know, I mean, I know it's going to end later in the night. So my question, do y'all got lights down there?
Yeah, we do. We have I think we have 4 light stages down there, and then the lights that are already off the flood wall. So yeah, it should be lit up pretty good.
So the spectators, when they come, you know, they can set up on the hillside along the flood wall, right?
Yes. Yeah, we encourage that. Everybody come, sit up on the flood wall. You can sit in the grass if you want to. Bring a blanket if you want to. The racing's great. We're going to have the fire truck down there to spray the track about every round, so the dust is kind of tamed down a little bit. So yeah, should be great.
That's good news, because we know Kevin Jones over here, he was worried about that dust. You know, we just done the hill climb, and he's like, man, it'd been nice if it had rained a little bit. You know?
Right.
But you know, when you sit here, you got the mud pit, you got the racing track, but Dirt Days kicks off tomorrow. You'll have the parade, but you got the Tatum Jessie big wheel race, and you know, can you still get registered for that?
Yes. Come to the registration table. All the girls will be there with open arms to help you out, to lead you in, whether it's big wheel, whether it's the kids class, whether it's any of the classes. They'll help you get registered and send you right down the road to us, and we'll get it going.
So let me ask you something. On that right there, you know, am I getting this right? Are they going to be racing down Main Street of Williamson?
Yes. So the big wheel class is going to start at Dickinson Street and race up towards the Dirt Days area.
Okay.
And you know, just depending on how many we have, if we have a bunch, we may have to do 2 or 3 separate heats.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a good time.
So they'll be racing that way.
Yes.
Going that way. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, my question is, do you think there's a big wheel that can hold me?
If there's a will, there's a way, brother. It can happen.
There you go. Listen, all I can tell you is, you know, make sure you got some lube and butter ready.
You know what? Like, I do a little chassis work on the side, so I'm sure we can cut that thing down and put some chromoly bars in there. You'll be fine. We got this.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
We got a good, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 hours for its game time. We can have it done by then.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we got this.
You know, Stephen, I was talking when we first come on, and last night I was laying in bed, and, you know, honestly, it's kind of a, you know, full circle moment, and, you know, just a really great comeback story. You know, being able to have this show here at Starters on the biggest event, you know, and I was sitting there thinking, you know, and I told Billy, I said, I've been thrown out of every bar in Wixon. and think of this, I've been thrown, and I was actually part of the biggest brawl ever right here at this bar, and I was banned from here for probably a year. And now they're trusting me to host a show during the biggest event in the town. You know, what the hell are they thinking, Steve?
Hey, guys, anything's possible. Never give up. Anything's possible, right?
Keep grinding. Yeah.
That's it.
But when you're sitting there, you know, I mean, it's just one of them. You know, I'm stoked. We was over at the hill climb. You know, I seen all of them. I seen Maddox Dix. I seen, you know, your boy, the champ.
Ryder Newsom.
Yeah, Ryder Newsom. Yeah, I seen all them boys over there at the hill climb. And all they kept talking about was Dirt Days. And, you know, you can tell the youth in the area, the youth and even the adults was talking, they was like, yeah, I mean, we're gonna go down and we're gonna win that cash, And now, I mean, you've got these purses up to $1,000 for some of the classes. Is this year is this starting to be what you hoped it to be when you first got involved?
Absolutely, and this is just the start. Like, if we can get some traction here, we're just going to keep growing this thing. This is what drag racing is about. Competition. Having some good payouts to make it worth getting off the couch.
Yeah.
And like, everybody's stoked. I've heard people are coming from all over the place, different style bikes. I even saw like a crotch rocket down there with a dirt tire on it.
Oh wow!
Making hits, trying to like go in between the rules for the dirt bike R class, and I love it. That's what it's about. You're not breaking the rules unless you're just bending them. So
is he going to run tomorrow? Maybe.
I hope so.
There you go.
I hope so. It fits the rules.
Yeah.
There's no limit on CCs. I think it was a 600, and if they can make it work, I'm game for it. I love it. I love the innovation. It's
Kevin
great.
Jones, was there any doubt when there's drag racing going on that the name Stephen Jessie was going to be involved? Any doubt at all?
This is what it needed. Dirt Days needed Stephen.
Yeah.
And you see what it's done. Like, I talked to some people earlier, Dirt Days has been going on a while. I've heard more about Dirt Days in the last month than the years it's been going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I mean, in true Stephen Jessie fashion, he pulls up in an 850 horsepower Cobra. I mean, did you expect anything else from Stephen Jessie?
It seemed fitting. Like my good friend, and I've been racing with my whole life. John Pleasant's here in town, and he's helping us run the event. We've got a lot of history racing together, and he brought his hot rod down, and I was like, it'd be fitting just to ride that Shelby into town, and let's do this thing. So that's what we did.
Look behind here. You got one of the racers showing up behind you.
Oh man,
the Red Rocket has showed up.
The Red Rocket's here.
Yep.
Here we are.
And I always call him the Pocket Rocket.
He's ready this year too, man.
Yeah,
he's
Jason
ready.
Fields in the house.
All these guys are ready. Like they're coming packed. They're all being secretive of what's going on, but when it's game time, it's going to be on tomorrow.
What's the biggest lie told this week? It's stock.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Everybody, it's stock. I haven't done nothing. That's the play.
Yeah, that right there. I can't wait. To see tomorrow what goes on here. This event. I mean, all week. Whether you got fireworks going on, and as Billy said earlier, fireworks. You got music. You got vendors, and it's all completely free.
Yep.
Like, I mean, if you're somebody that wants to take your kids out, and you're stretched for money, hard times, this is the place to be.
Hey, man, not even that. Like, for instance, in the kids class, Boost Built Performance put up enough money to pay for 7 free entries in that class. So like, if you got your kid and they've got their 50 cc, their 70 cc dirt bike, or a 4-wheeler under 110 cc's. Bring them out. I think there might even be a slot or 2 left on the Dirt Days page. You can see that there's been some people already and they're really trying to stack it up. So it's such a great thing. It's a perfect time. And also, too, there's a lot of instruction down there. There's a lot of veteran drag racers who's been in this game a long time that can give like great advice to these kids and kind of help them move on to like the next level of what they do.
Well, listen, I am excited, and what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I got a question to ask Stephen. It's been a question that I think everybody wants answered, so we'll get to that when we come back. We'll take a quick commercial break. Right back. Dirt Day Special, Starter Sports Bar and Grill here in Whitson, West Virginia. Back here in Williamson, West Virginia, Starter Sports Bar and Grill, Big D's Traveling Roadshow. Stephen Jessie to my right. I'm Darryl McCoy, Billy Davis. We got Kevin Jones. This segment brought to you courtesy of our friends at United Motorsports. Right now, hit them up. Big vendor down here. They'll have the trailer, everything set up. Side by side, the gear, anything you need, they got. So, Stephen, my question, Tatum Jessie, obviously named after your grandson. His mother, Alana Jessie.
Yes.
Is she singing the national anthem? Is she going to sing the national anthem? Because that right there, I mean, I'm waiting to buy my ticket till I find out. Is she doing it?
Alana Jessie will be on deck for the national anthem.
Kevin Jones, I'm telling you, one of the most beautiful voices you'll ever meet. I can't wait for that. I am stoked. What time? Do you know what time around what time national anthem will be?
So again, if the races start at 3, it's going to be right before that. So our goal, depending on how long the big wheel race goes, if it stretches over, it could be between 3 and 3:30 when the races start. But regardless, it'll be right before that.
So is that the big wheel race starts at 3?
The big wheel race starts at 1:30.
Okay. And then the drag racing starts at 30.
Yeah, so what'll happen is we're going to run the big wheel race. After the big wheel race is finished, we're going to have to come back and do a driver's meeting.
Yep.
And then we'll go into the chip draw to see who is racing who. And then John Pleasant, he will, organize them and send them down in the staging lanes so we can prepare them to fire them off. But before that, we're going to go into a moment of prayer that Mike McCoy is going to give us.
Yeah.
And then we're going to bring Alana Jessie up for the national anthem. And then it's party time.
There you go. I was sitting here thinking, a lot of people, we got a lot of out-of-towners here. I've met people from New York, Canada, Wisconsin, everywhere so far. The thing that I like is the county is really starting to open this up to where, the entire county, you got people from Gilbert, you got Tig over there getting involved in dirt days. You got, people in Matewan getting involved. The whole Mingo County now is feeding off these festivals, whether it's Trail Fest, Dirt Days, and I love seeing now that everybody's connecting everything, and it's all, being Mingo County.
Yes.
That's one of the greatest things. But, a lot of these people, they don't remember the good days of Wimpson. The Cole House down here, what hasn't it been through? It's been through a fire. It's been through a flood. And it's still standing. Just like the people here, in Mingo County, the Cole House is just as tough.
Yep.
And then I was talking to Kevin Jones. You remember Michael's, the card shop here?
Of course.
Hand Tees, Little Venus, King's Restaurant. That was the heyday of Wimpson. And a lot of people don't realize right here in Wimpson, West Virginia, this used to be one of the biggest towns when it came to presidential elections. I got a picture somewhere framed of JFK coming out of the Mountaineer down here. There was so much money involved in the coal fields, and then a lot of people don't know, at one time, this was the biggest train yard in eastern United States, right here in East Wimpson, in East End. And then, you had all the coal money here. This place used to be one of the biggest cities in the eastern United States, right here, one of the most important cities when it comes to presidential elections. You wanted to win Southern West Virginia if you was going to win a presidential election.
Yeah, absolutely. And the goal is to get back to that, but we're going to do it a little different this time. Instead of it being coal and natural gas, we need to use our trails, and we need to strategically be smart and open businesses. And let people come in and ride these trails and make them want to come here and have a place for them to come. And that's where we start back again. And let's get started. Everybody needs to hop on board.
Yeah, we started, it was, I'm trying to think when it was, they've been a lot of stuff open up in our area that could really support these trail systems. And what I mean by that is, these trail systems, the war on code depleted our area. Let's just say what it is. But then, tourism off the Hatfield-McCoy Trail has started to build back. The revenue is starting to come in from East tourism. We talked to tourists that says, they wait all year to come here. They said that they got 7, 8. I talked to one guy. He said him and his buddies have 7 or 8 spots across America. They said, but this is the one place that they don't miss is the Hatfield-McCoy Trails. What we got to do is we got to support these local businesses when they open up during the winter months.
Yes.
Like the driving range that was up at the mall. There used to be a putt-putt course down at the mouth of Chatteroy. If you see game rooms open up, these trail riders, what's going to continue to help grow this is when businesses like that open up, they got to have something to do when they go back off, when they get off the trails in the evenings. When they got their kids and everything, they want to have stuff to do. Before they can plan something like that coming here, they got to say, okay, what do they have for the kids afterwards? We got beautiful scenery. We got lakes, ponds. We got stuff that we can take. We got the resources to take advantage of. We got tons of reclaimed land, but as a community, we've got to support these businesses during the down months of tourism.
Absolutely. That's the key. You're absolutely right. It's now's the time when we have these festivals and it's trail season, and these are the easier times. These are the times when it's flowing. But in the wintertime, when all that's really slowed down, is when all of our everyone local needs to step up and stick around. Come down here to Starters and eat. Go down to Three Guys and have yourself a meal. Let's support our area on these downtimes instead of maybe driving out of town or going somewhere else. It's super important, and if we can do that and we can support these places, they're not going to close like we've seen, because they will open up and they're like,
they'll open for 3 months and then they're out of business.
Yeah, so it's very important when they open up, especially in the off months when it's not trail season, for all of us to if we're hungry and we're going somewhere anyway, you might as well just spend your money here and help everybody. Let's win this thing.
Don't go to Lexington to Top Golf when we got a driving range and a putt-putt course right here in our backyard.
Right, of course.
That's the stuff that people's got to do, And, I seen the other day another local business shut down that, I guarantee you will hurt all people in the area, particularly local athletes.
Sure.
It's just something that we see too often. And it's about time as us as a community, we bond together and we help each other. And, that's what's going to get this thing started and, keep it going. The trails, something I didn't know. And, I'm sure you knew because, you work closely with them. But, like Matt Dixon at Ridge Runner.
Sure, yeah.
I didn't know that, you could rent side-by-sides. And that's one of the neatest things, and I don't think people in this area are aware of that. I work 7 days a week, and, probably 12 hours a day, but when I do get a day off, here's the thing. Just like when you go to the beach and people says, you go back to one of the back streets, they're like, oh, we never go to the beach, and, it's kind of like, that with a lot of people here, we got the Hatfield-McCoy trails here, but these people in our area don't take advantage of them. I've never been on the Hatfield-McCoy trails. I grew up in these mountains, but I've never been on the Hatfield-McCoy trails. And, Matt Dixon told me he'd hook me up with side-by-side and, told me, go out. And I plan on doing that and, maybe videoing it and showing people what it's about. But, that's something I think people in our area needs to realize, that there's tons of people around this area that will rent you a side-by-side.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you've never got a chance to go up or experience the Hatfield-McCoy Trail, that's a perfect example. Ridge Runner Outfitters, Matt Dixon's deal up there, they do a wonderful job, and that gives you an easy opportunity to not have a payment every month. You can just go up there and they'll rent you one. You can check it all out. It's amazing. That's another big opportunity to not have to go in so deep to buy a machine. You can just go up there and get one from those guys.
Yeah, for nearly nothing.
Yeah.
I know you can go to United Motorsports and get them for nearly nothing, but you go to these side-by-side places. Myself, I don't have enough time off work to really invest $20,000+ in a side-by-side. So, but I do want to take advantage of these trails and see what they're about, and I was always the type when it first came, and you got a lot of people that, when we was growing up, was against the Hatfield McCoy trails because they was like, why should we have to pay to ride in our own mountains? Well, now what you don't realize is that's what's going to grow this area back. These beautiful mountains and valleys that God has blessed us with, that's what's going to get us back out of the cold, depression. And, I'm tickled to death to see what they've all done with it. And I am stoked to finally get out on the trails and see, okay, what's this that draw? Why is all these people coming in, and what have they done with these hills since I've been in them?
No, they're amazing. They keep them up. They're really nice. Like, I'm the type of guy that I like to go out and ride long distance. I like to get with my buddies, and we just take off, and we'll ride 100 or 120 miles round trip.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice, too, because not only that, you can do those rides, and you can stop at places like Temple Tavern, just on the trail, and get a meal. You can ride to Gilbert, and, they've got places to eat over there. You can ride to Man on the trail, eat over there. Like, you can make a voyage, and it's so fun. I mean, you can spend all day and not go to the same place. It's wonderful.
And from what I hear, they got it set up to where there's different levels. There's like a novice level, core, trails. Then there's your hard levels and medium level rider. And that's what I'm looking forward to, because I've not rode. I've not even rode a four wheeler probably since. Probably one or two times since probably the early 2000s. Me and Cliff Wallace and all of us used to go. I'd ride Doug Foreman, and but it's just one of them. Like I want to see, what it's about, because it's hard for me to promote it if I don't know about it. And that's why I want a video.
Well, I got a plan. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put you in one of these 450 horsepower McCoy Motorsport built Can-Am Maverick R's. We're going to put you in one of those. We're going to go up there, and we're going to see how you like it. And that way you get the whole experience.
Listen, hey, I'm down for it, man.
I mean, we'll get it.
I'm listen, but man, you go and look, like last weekend at the hill climb, Randy Maynard, he took me up in the hills, and on a side by side, it was something that I really enjoyed, but it's something I would like to get together and just spend a day, and really take now you guys may not know, but we got coming soon the D&D Outdoors channel, and our D&D Mountain Elite, and it's gonna be dedicated to stuff like this, events,
awesome.
Hill climbs, racing, stuff like that, and it's something I would like to take people along and let them see why they should come here, because it's one of the things you got to show people what we got to get them there.
Sure.
And I think that would help a lot of people. I mean, we got over 70,000 people on Facebook alone. Well, 80,000 people on Facebook alone, not counting all of our other social media. Over 100,000 followers that would say, okay, we can rent side by side. Well, let's go, take advantage of that a weekend. Last weekend was my birthday. I turned 44 years old.
Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday.
44 years old, and I'm having a baby soon. Well, I'm not, but my wife is. But
hey, it's 2026, my man. You got this.
Well, I said I'm not going to chase this infant around. I'm going to negotiate with it. I'm like, listen, this is what's going to happen. But anyway, when you're sitting there, I was down there in Lexington on my birthday and went down to the blue-white game in Kentucky blue-white game, and I was like, what should I have done? And then I got to thinking about us over at Hillbilly Days, and talking to Matt about them renting side by sides, and I was like, Bree, why did we come down here? And I was like, why didn't we just go rent a side by side and take advantage of the hills and go do that? And it's just you don't think about it till it's too late. And that's something that we got to do. We got to make sure that this is put right in front of people, and that it's advertised very well. That way, people's like, when first thing, hey, I got a weekend off, I'm going and doing this,
right?
So but Guys, we're going to take one more commercial break with Steven. When we come back, he's going to give us some of the riders that'll be in there tomorrow. He's going to, again, reinsure you guys everything that's going on down at the racetrack. And then we'll have Billy Davis back with us at the 7:30 mark. We'll be talking to Brew or Kathy or one of them here at Starters in a little bit. But again, guys, want to thank everybody. We are live here in Williamson, West Virginia from Starters Sports Bar and Grill. You're watching the Big D's Traveling Roadshow. Welcome back, everybody. Starter Sports Bar and Grill, the Big D's Traveling Roadshow here. We are with Stephen Jessie, one of the event promoter and organizers of Dirt Days, the drag strip. It is off and popping. They're making hits down there right now, Stephen. It's got to make you proud. Again, we talked about it earlier, but got to make you proud. I know you've worked really hard this year on it to see all the excitement from it.
Yeah, man. Like, it's really coming together now. Everything that we've kind of wanted is starting to come to fruition, right?
Yeah.
So, You know, we didn't know what kind of crowd we would have tonight, where it's just test and tune, but oh boy, like it is really kind of happening right now. It was so packed. I mean, I'm talking from the staging lanes to the pits, and they were already connected. I mean, I would bet there's probably 50 side-by-side dirt bikes and four-wheelers down there already testing. So, yeah, it's great to see.
Well, you know, and that's the interesting. Well, I mean, we see a little bit of everybody. We see tourists in here. We see locals in here. Whitey Gibbs is in the house. Listen, follow him on TikTok. He takes he does these taste tests.
Yeah.
Liquor taste tests, and you know, that brings you. You know, we're here in a bar. You know, liquor or beer. You know, which do you think? You know, Dirt Days. What do you think started to sell more of, liquor or beer?
Gosh, I don't know, man. I guess whatever floats your boat. You know, to each their own.
Wine is fine, but liquor's quicker.
That's right. That's right. That's what they say.
Look at here, we got KCU
That's
guard
what they
Peyton
say.
Davis in the house. The got the Davis family, but you know, when you sit here and you know, I was telling them, you know, I was like, you know, everybody here is getting ready for Dirt Days, you know, and you know, I'm just getting ready for ibuprofen and Bengay. You know,
Right.
But you know, and it's really hard, you know. Jason Fields, one of the racers, come up here. You know, I went to school with, grew up with, one of my best friends in school. You know, but you know, starting to get old, you have to stretch when you get up. You got to that part yet?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, man.
you go to stand up and yeah. But you know, it's something. It's really neat. You know that, and that's what I like about these racing. You know, options that people's got now. You know, the hill climb. You know, there was, you know, guys that was, you know, 60, 70 years old. There was a 72-year-old guy climbing that hill. You know,
that's awesome.
It's really neat. You know, this drag strip, you got classes for everybody. You got stock classes. You got, well, tell everybody. You know more about it than I do. Tell everybody about the classes that's open to people.
Yeah, so we tried to have a pretty diverse amount of classes. We have, obviously, the big wheel class, so the real little kids have something to do as well, and they can kind of get it into their blood flowing early. And then we've got the kids class, and that's going to be for, like, your smaller combustion engine motorcycles, like a 50cc or a 70cc motorcycle, you know, a 110cc four-wheeler. And then we've got, like, an intermediate class, and that's going to bridge the kids class to the big classes, okay? So that even gives like the in-between guys a good chance to like compete against stuff that they have. Like you ever want to race, for instance, a 100cc four-stroke motorcycle against a 450 four-stroke motorcycle. That's not a good outcome, right? So with this intermediate class, it's going to not let them have to race down or race up. It puts them right in the middle, so that makes for really good racing for them. And then we have the Dirt Bike R class, and that's kind of like bring what you got on a dirt tire, you know, and you can only be extended a certain amount. And then there's the four-wheeler class, same thing. They're for trail four-wheelers. Like these aren't full drag out build four-wheelers. Whatever you have, you can come and compete in that class. If you have a factory Can-Am, you know, XRC or whatever you have, you will fit into that class. And then we have the naturally aspirated class for the side-by-sides that don't have a power adder on it. That way, their racing is going to be very even. And then our premier class is going to be the boosted big CC side-by-side class. And those are for the guys that are making whatever. But the thing about that class also is they are racing on a dirt tire. So when you're racing on a dirt tire, it doesn't matter if you're making a gazillion horsepower and the guy next beside you is only making 200. You've got to put that power down. It's a lot easier to put the power down with 200 horsepower than it is 500 or 600. So it makes the racing really good, especially where it's 200 feet.
That's, by the way, City Auto Care owner Eric Evans in the house. Make sure you stop by and see them. They're down there during on the Dirt Day area down there. You know, proud supporter of tonight's show and Dirt Day. So
that's
Hats
wonderful.
off to them. But you know, Steve, that's my question is, okay, if somebody comes in and they got say a dirt bike that pretty much stock. Can they race in multiple classes, or is it you only get to sign up for one class?
Yeah, so we had the classes set up good enough where it probably, I mean, you could, like, if one of the little kids wanted to step up and race in the dirt bike R class, they could. I mean, that's an option for them. It would be a tough go around to race a 70cc 4-stroke against a 500cc 2-stroke or a 450cc bike, but if they chose to, they could.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, and like say somebody comes down too, I'm sure you see a lot of people, probably like Ryder Newsom that's got 2 or 3 dirt bikes, probably entering in different classes too, don't they?
No, not necessarily. Like, all of his bikes are kind of bigger bikes, and we gauge them to be able to run in that one class. And it's a lot too. Like, there's a lot of racing. It's double elimination already. So trying to run 2 classes, you would literally have to have someone getting the bike up to the staging lane for you while you're racing in the other class. It'd be really tough. But the good thing is, it is double elimination. And, like, for instance, tonight, there's 5 hours of test and tune tonight to run. Tomorrow, there's 3.5 hours of test and tune to run to get dialed in before the race tomorrow. And then we've got the race, and it's double elimination. So you even got an extra shot to get the job done. So there's plenty of racing.
So how long is registration open?
It's going to be open till 1:30 tomorrow. At 1:30 tomorrow, we will close registration. And we wish we could keep it open longer, but the problem is we're going to have so many racers there, right? And when we do this chip draw, Amanda, Danielle, Alana, they're going to be juggling, for instance, let's say there's 30 or 40 racers in the side-by-side class. They're going to have to put a chip in the bowl, and everybody's going to have to draw from it. Yeah. So for us to have to come back out of the chip draw to let someone else back in after 1:30, it would be near impossible.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Now, and the thing that I like too is, it's opened up, like, some of the classes, like, if your grandpa's got a 450, there's a class for you. Like, you can bring, any stock machine down here and compete in a class and have a chance to take home a purse, right?
Yeah, it's 200 feet. I've seen stock machines go many, many rounds in this thing just because of that.
Yeah, that's and here's my question, and it may be a stupid question to ask, but on these side by sides, do they put nitrous on them?
They can.
And you probably on a short course like that probably couldn't really.
No, you could. Like, for instance, it's a lot easier to go down this track in a naturally aspirated machine, just simply because they don't make as much power, so they dead hook and they get down. The more powerful machines, they're on top of the tire, meaning they're spinning the tire more, and it's tough for them to go A to B more efficient. But you could get a naturally aspirated side-by-side, plumb in a nitrous kit, and you could be in the game and run with some of these turbo and supercharged machines. You could.
Stephen, big energy, big crowd. This place, standing room only right now.
It's happening.
Starter Sports Bar and Grill, this is awesome to see this, man.
It's fantasy.
Sitting here, I'm very excited, not just racing down here, you got what you're doing with Dirt Days. This is amazing. And then what the folks are doing up at 304 Motorsports Park, something we've always dreamed of is a drag trap right here in our own area. And they got events going on. So Sunday after Dirt Days, go up there, and we may be streaming it too, but that's something that I'm excited to be a part of. And I think Dirt Days, like last weekend when we was at the hill climb, we told people online, we was like, hey, come on down and join us. We'll be here till wee hours in the morning. Come down, let us know, if you guys was sitting at home listening. We had 12 people in a matter of about 4 hours that said they was watching online, and they was like, oh, we didn't even know it was going on. Let's go down there. And they showed up. When we left, there was probably 10 times the amount of people than when we got there. And that's awesome. What I'm hoping tomorrow brings. I'm hoping when people sees this going on and sees what it's about, that everybody starts flooding down there, as the day goes on. And it's something. But we want you to get there early because you got the Tatum Jessie big wheel ride, you got the parade, you got the concerts going on. Do you have any info on the concerts when they are? Or?
Yeah, well, the concert is tonight. I think it started at 6 o'clock and it's going to end at 9 o'clock tonight, I'm pretty sure. So that's going to be tonight. Tomorrow is going to be directed more towards the Heads Up drag racing event, which is going to be a lot.
Got a mud pit too, right?
Yeah, there is a mud pit down there, and the mud pit is open tonight with Test and Tune. It will actually be open tomorrow from 10 to 1 as well. When we start doing the Heads Up drag racing event, that's where we're going to close the mud pit just for safety, so we can do the event.
Yeah, I mean, you may have to run my mother-in-law out at mud pit to get started, but
hey,
I mean, we see her wallowing around all the time. Man.
That's all right.
But you got the mud pit set right beside the drag strip, so you can take part. You don't have to miss one or other. Like if you're down there watching, are they going on at the same time or?
If you're down there tonight, they are going on at the same time, and tomorrow early. They will be going on at the same time. Now, tomorrow, again, when we start going into Heads Up drag racing at 3 o'clock, that's when they're going to shut the mud pit down, and we're just going to solely concentrate on the drag race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then another question, when you take and, after you get registration started and all that, all the fans, the vendors are along that street right there. Now, where do they access the drag strip from? Do they come in from the Mexican restaurant side, or or do y'all want them coming in around, by the railroad tracks coming in? Where will the fans be accessing the drag strip?
Yeah. So all the spectators will be watching from the flood wall.
Yeah.
So you will, like, if you're looking straight at the Mexican restaurant, you will make a left and go up the steps there right at the flood wall, and you can, wherever you choose to sit, you can stand at the rail, or you can bring a blanket, sit and watch the race from there. Now the racers, they're going to be pitted inside the racing premises, and we're going to have a pit there for them. So, if you're racing, you will go up the brick road or right behind registration, and they will take you back to the pits. If you're coming to be a spectator, you just go up the steps right beside the Mexican restaurant and go up there and walk to the back, and you'll have a wonderful overview of the whole track. That's what's so great about it, too. I mean, you're looking right down on the 200-foot race. You can see if someone spins the tire at the front, or you can see if their machine gets loose up on the big end. So it's really neat. It's a great experience, actually.
Well, when we was growing up, that's what I was talking about earlier. You had dirt bikes, four-wheelers. Side by side, it wasn't a thing back then. I was telling Billy, I don't know if you remember, closest thing you had to them was a thing called an Odyssey. And, remember them old Odysseys?
Oh yeah.
And then you had, back then you had those three-wheelers, and which had the balloon tires. And
I've wrecked many of three-wheelers in my younger days.
Listen, good thing they quit making them, but but it's interesting to see. My question is, what do you see the most of, four-wheelers or side-by-sides? When it comes to the drag racing.
I would probably say side-by-sides. The side-by-sides are really popular right now. You've got more of a broader age group in the side-by-side because, like myself, I don't throw the lever as much as I used to. The back's not as good as it used to, and I don't think any of us are, right? But I can still get in a side-by-side, and I can let go of the button, and I can wheel the thing, no issue. So you have a lot broader of an age group that can race, so there's more people racing them. Now, on the dirt bikes and the four-wheelers, more the dirt bikes, you have more of a mostly younger group because it's a lot more active to ride. You actually got to ride it and manhandle it. But that being said, the dirt bike class is always packed. And I've got so many messages of guys coming from everywhere, from coming all the different areas to challenge Ryder Newsom and his crew to see if they can dethrone those guys.
Well, that brings me to, and by the way, can you get Jason Fields a second up here so we can talk to one of the racers before we get
Absolutely.
We take it. Come up here, Fields. But when you take and look, you got rider news. How many former champions will be racing tomorrow?
You will have 2 for sure I know of. You're going to have Justin Grizzle defending his title from last year.
Yeah.
He was going to be here with his daughter. They were winner and runner up. Grab you a chair, Jay. We're also going to have the back-to-back Dirt Bike R champion back, Ryder Newsom. So there's going to be some defending, and actually this guy right here, he's been there every year. Like the first year, runner up.
Yeah.
He was right there. He was right there on that old Blue Machine's heels. That could have went nickety tuck right there. And then last year, kind of same deal. He drew Grizzle in the semifinals.
I showed up late. Remember?
Yeah, that is right.
Y'all took a whole round from me.
Yeah. Well,
So, I mean, I got here. I left Tennessee at noon.
so look, guys, perfect example. Don't show up late. Don't be this guy.
Don't be me. Don't be me. Don't
In
be
true
me.
Jason Fields fashion, he shows up late.
I always will, baby.
He always wants a grand entry, and
Lord,
he's
yeah.
been like that since we was a pup. Went from trackers to crotch rocket, or to trackers to Dodge Rams to crotch rockets to Mustangs, and now side by side to Jason Fields. That machine out there, one of the baddest machines I've seen so far here at Dirt Days. Just talk a little bit about what you'll be riding. You ain't got to tell them what you got because you don't want to let any secrets out. But what are you riding?
It's a 2024 Maverick R Can-Am. Little special sauce here and there. Suspension work here and there. Me and Steve-O's done some testing, done some crazy stuff. Dirt Monkey Performance and Georgia's helped. Like I said, Mike, McCoy, and them, dude, I can't make it without Mike. Mike and Steven, they're my right-hand people. I call, I need something, they help. So anytime you all need parts or anything, come to Mike, man. Mike's brought me parts in Tennessee. We have got Sea-Doos in Tennessee. We got stuff. We will race tricycles if they let us.
Well, and that's what, when you sit here and look at, how much experience do you have racing your side by side? How long have you been putting on track and?
What did we get into it, Steve-O? 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
3? Yeah, I think 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, again, guys, for you, everybody knows Steve and Jessie, especially if you're in the drag racing world. But he's done everything from racing, Supras, 4-wheelers, side by sides, jet skis. A little bit of everything. But Fields, coming down, it's got to. One of the things that had to draw you to this event is knowing that Steve and Jessie is running, right?
Lion, that's my best friend, and we went through thick and thin. We have drag raced everything.
Yep.
I mean, everything. Literally everything I can think of. And, dude, this is what we do.
Yep.
I mean, and anytime I come home and support my community, this is home. This will always be home to me. I love to see it, and I can hang out with Steve-O and Mike and you, KJ.
Well, let me ask you something. And this is my question. Will we see Cliff Wallace in this dirt bike tomorrow?
Brother Cliff.
Any chance in that?
Here's the deal. There's a possibility, but no one will know.
Nobody will know. Nobody will know. Nobody will know about it.
There may be an appearance by Cliff Wallace, but no one will know.
Yeah,
That's it.
We need to make sure that happens, and we need to definitely make sure his daughter gets in.
Let me tell you what, Alley Cat's here.
Yeah.
She's on Cliff's bike tonight.
Well, we seen when we was coming out of Kevin Jones's house here. We seen her down there working on it. She was working on her dirt bike in the driveway.
Oh yes.
So it's neat to see the whole community, everybody getting ready.
Absolutely.
For this,
Absolutely.
And then we talked to Maddox Dixon up there.
Maddox,
We're talking about a kid that, listen, there's no shame in his game. He's one of the cockiest kids you'll ever see, and he's coming for that title.
Hey, and he can back it too.
Yeah,
he can back it. That's the thing.
That kid can get it.
Well, he had the fastest time up the hill climb, didn't he? And for a long time. Yeah, he was the first one that really put up a monster time at the hill climb. So it's really neat to see everybody getting ready for this, and you can just feel the buzz right now, the energy. There's a big crowd, big energy in here. That's what Dirt Days is about. There goes dirt bike down the hall. That may be an alley right there.
It might be an alley.
But when you sit here and see, it's got to get you pumped up right now, feeling all this energy in town, right?
Absolutely. When you see this many people in Williamson, when you see this many people and everybody having a good time everywhere, I mean, their cars, their motorcycles, all the way down the road.
Yeah.
It's a great thing for Williamson. It's a great thing for the community. It's a great thing for you all, Mike, Kathy, everybody, Brewster, and the kids. These kids, listen, I went down there a few minutes ago before I came up here and seeing these kids laughing and jumping and get rolling in the mud. Put the devices down, get outside, and enjoy life. And that's what it's about.
Jason Fields, can you believe, I was talking to Steve, can you believe that during Dirt Days that they trusted me to host the biggest show on Dirt Days? Can you believe that?
I wasn't going to say nothing, baby. I wasn't going to say nothing, baby.
What are they thinking, man? I mean, listen, here's a little story. Not only, y'all think I'm kidding when I said I was, thrown out of every bar in Williamson. Me and Fields got thrown out of the same bar for fighting each other.
We fighting each other like a bunch of idiots.
We went to the bar together.
The night is early. The night